Action.
Trick or treat. Welcome to FlexWeigh's 12th annual Insanity Week. As you might guess, this year's Sicko extravaganza is going to be an ugly monster. What do you think? 4 foot by 4 foot or 5 foot by 5 foot floor scales, stainless steel, name your own price. We think that's pretty dang crazy. The model LPF Series I are our economy market imports. They are built to FlexWeigh's drawings and our specifications to comply with our INTEP approvals. Granted, the welding finish quality does not come close to the pride of workmanship produced at our own FlexWeight California plant, but the scales do weigh well and have some very upscale features. Right off the bat, you can see the understructures are very robust with formed channels in FlexWeigh's familiar crisscross pattern. Everyone knows this is a more expensive manufacturing design. And that's why most manufacturers don't do it. But everyone also knows this design has some significant performance advantages over the usual H-pattern or chasing pattern load cell designs. The deck surface is smooth and 6 millimeters thick. That's about a full 1/4 inch for those of us that are metrically challenged. And the platforms are also metric. 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter or 1.5 by 1.5 meter. And that'll work out to just a fraction of an inch under 48 by 48 or 60 by 60. The platforms are sandblasted top, bottom, and all sides to remove the welding scars from production. And you'll notice there are no exposed load cell cables running around. You can drag these scales up onto a lift truck without worrying about tearing up something underneath. When it comes to upscale features, we haven't just stopped with the platform design. How about the load cells and the other hardware that we put into the scale platform? What we've included standard at no extra charge in our I-Series stainless steel scales are real, honest-to-goodness, welded sealed stainless steel load cells. Top quality, top performance load cells, standard in the I-Series. To go with the load cell, we've included captive ball load cell feet. We all know that these style feet are probably the highest performing feet available on low profile platform scales. Very few manufacturers include this style foot standard. The reason's obvious, it's an expensive foot. And this is probably about the most expensive style of that foot that we've seen. You can actually disassemble the foot and clean it for maintenance. You know, all the gunk and stuff that gets down into that foot, all you have to do is take it apart, clean it, put it back together, and you're good to go again. When the feet come to you, they will be packed in grease. We've cleaned this foot up just for the sake of demonstration so that I can chase the little ball across the deck there. Also included in the scale standard is an internal summing box, stainless steel, trim pots for every load cell, watertight strain reliefs coming in and out. The summing box is accessed through the side on the I-Series stainless steel scales. We don't like to have holes cut in the deck to collect stuff into the scale. We mentioned earlier that the scales weigh well. We know the scales weigh well because we may be the only manufacturer in the country who actually can know that the scales weigh well. We may still be the only manufacturer in the country that has an automatic platform testing machine. At the simple flip of a button, we can roll the scale under 9,000 pounds of weight. The weight can be expanded or moved around for different size platforms. In this case, the weight is pulled in to test a 4 foot by 4 foot scale. As you can see, a 4 foot by 4 foot pattern of 1,000 pound test weights is going to cover the whole scale platform and actually overhang the platform to some degree. When we're testing at FlexWeight, we don't hold up at a namby-pamby halfway to the edge or halfway to the corner handbook 44 test. When we test scales, we're going to test that sucker, and when we're done with it, we're going to know that it weighs. We can load the test weights in any pattern, in any combination that we want. We can 2, add 3, add 4. The center is your 5,000 pounds. We lift those, then we do it again, starting with corner 2, 3, 4, 1, center, lift. Start with number 3, do it again. Start with number 4, do it again. Then we'll drop 3,000 pounds on one edge, overhanging the edge. Then 3 on the second edge, fourth edge, and the third edge too. 3,000 through a diagonal, 3,000 through the other diagonal. By the time we are finished with this test, we know whether the scale weighs or not. Just to prove to ourselves that the Series I scales really do perform, we calibrated this scale at 1 part in 10,000, 5,000 pounds by a half. Now, to be honest with you folks, we test every single FlexWeigh manufactured scale. Every scale that we manufacture here at FlexWeigh goes through the tester. Every single scale we manufacture at FlexWeigh includes the printed test report of the final test. We put it in the summing box. No other scale manufacturer that we know of provides a test report on the scale that they say they tested. They said they tested it, but we proved that we tested it. And in fact, we'll fax you that test report before we ship the scale. You can be the final QC guy. But the facts are, when we're talking about the economy scales, the imports, if you will, we have to play the same game as everybody else does. We take it out of the carton, we put it on a pallet, and we ship it to you. Question is, do you have confidence that what we ship to you will weigh? As I mentioned, we calibrated this particular scale at 10,000 divisions, and this is how it weighed. You can decide for yourself, does it weigh well enough for you to want to sell to your customer? It looks pretty good to me. It's an economy scale, for goodness sakes. 1 part in 10,000 performance, practically nothing but zeros, all the way through the whole 26-step testing pattern. I would say that the FlexWeigh Series I economy scale weighs maybe better than most manufacturers' premium scales. So there you have it. Those are the specifications and a quick description of what's available to you today at FlexWeigh for the Insanity Week. So here we are, trick or treat, Insanity Week. As many as you want, name your own price. You might think that's insane. I'm sure our competitors think that's insane, but we think that's kind of normal for Insanity Week at FlexWeigh.